Hello everybody, it's Braxer and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to sort of be a follow-up to the previous video. Um, past couple of videos maybe have been more so kind of about this past weekend, and it hasn't been the best weekend. I can admit, yeah, it's Easter weekend and such, but I wasn't feeling it. You know what? It's stuff in my head really that I gotta work on and such, but other than that, I'm alright now. So during all this time where I was just kind of sitting and such, not really doing much of anything, I didn't really get to go outside or anything like that because the weather just still isn't too good out here. While I was doing all that, I was just playing a lot more Minecraft and such, just not really giving a damn. You know what, yeah, I shouldn't be gaming so much, but I sort of realized that by gaming, it's sort of my escape. Kind of like how they'll go for walks, they'll read a book. This is just my escape. But yet, the grim truth is that it's so scrutinized because, oh, it's a screen, you're not getting any physical activity. Well, still getting, like, mental stimulation, really. Even learn hand-eye coordination, really. When you think about it, I've used that as an excuse when I was a kid. I learned hand-eye coordination. Definitely a good skill. Well, actually, it does come in handy in some cases. But yeah, I was really sitting and realizing that Minecraft has been there for me for so many years. I first discovered this game back, I think 15 years ago at this point. Started on the Pocket Edition, 0.6.1. I remember the version number. And then I played Xbox 360 Edition. I played that for years until it got discontinued. Even played it for a little bit after it got discontinued because I didn't have an Xbox One or Series S at the time. So I played that, and then I played Bedrock on the Switch. I got that. And then got Bedrock on the Xbox One S. And finally, here I am on Java. So I played all different versions. I even got to try the new Nintendo 3DS edition. If anybody still plays that, holy macaroni. It is one hell of a version. But I'm not here to judge what version you play. Like, this isn't debating whether or not a version's better. What I'm trying to really say here is that this game's been there for me through so many different parts of my life. Like, my worst times, like, I still remember this world I had. I think I mentioned this in one of the previous videos recently, where I actually had this world on Bedrock on my Switch that I built this massive bridge. It spanned at least 1,000 or 2,000 blocks. It crossed the ocean, but it also crossed some land. It cut through a Badlands mountain and such as well. Like, it was pretty cool, really. But for some stupid reason, I deleted the world, and I miss that world dearly. But I mean, there's other worlds I could probably get. Like, if I boot up my old 360, if it still runs, every world's there that I could get. Old tutorial worlds, which I know are available by download, but thing is the console graphics were just so different. Like, here, I'm going to shut my shaders off if you're watching the video. This is sort of the happy medium. Bedrock, to me, is very colorful, and really, you lose a lot of that nostalgic feel. There's less fog and such. But, I mean, if I turn the render distance down, I might get a better effect, but yeah. But then console edition, you had all that fog and such too, so it made a difference. But so yeah, like, I built so many things in Minecraft. I built all sorts of houses. Like, this current style now is what I build the most, but I built more like Norse style houses. I found a tutorial on how to do one of those. Like, the roof sort of starts as slabs from the sides and then turns into pretty much a near vertical ascent. Kind of like a reverse barn in a way. Like, I'll come over to my barn here and try to explain it. So instead of it starting sharp and then go and be more flat. It starts flat and then goes up, right? That's kind of the difference between the two. And then there's also like, see, console edition to me is the most nostalgic version. That's where I... What the hell? Did that sheep grow already? Oh, okay. Oh, wait, because it eats grass. Forgot. But yeah, console edition is the most nostalgic version for me. Since that's where I've had a fair amount of memories, but unfortunately I didn't really go through it during COVID since like they did discontinue the console edition back then. It was, I still remember that so vividly, and I was very sad, but yet I kind of knew in the same breath too that yeah, these consoles are so old that like even today, or at least whenever it first got discontinued, Xbox 360 and all these other consoles could barely run updated Aquatic. But, well, they still run just fine, just a lot of frame drops and such. But it might have been the Worlds I played too, they had a lot of stuff going on and all that, but... Yeah, so then there was the mashup packs, which... I never bought any mashup packs on there, so I'd always play the trials, but I'd still have a grand time, just sitting for hours playing it. Like, the festive mashup pack is the big one for me, because you got the music, there's the big minecart track that wraps around the outside of the map, and all that, and it's just cozy overall. And see, back then for me, Christmas was more... I was more happier during Christmas, but I mean, nowadays it's a lot different and such. And so going to it now, it's like I'm looking in a looking in some portal to like a distant past or something like that. It's hard to explain entirely, but it's weird looking back. Like if I went to some of these old worlds that I used to play, I'd be like, what the hell? I really did that. Because I mean, back in the day, I was a kid, right? So I'd build all sorts of random, bizarre things. But hey, it's Minecraft, so you get to you have fun and all that. Building great big houses. I built a skyscraper. I had this one super flat world on Pocket Edition, and it was... I built a skyscraper using like lava and water to make cobblestone, so that way the walls are done, but I never finished it. I think I tried to make a rocket ship out of it too. Speaking of, I remember being young, watching like Stampy or Dan TDM and wishing that you could do what they did. Especially Stampy, like how do you fly a rocket? How do you fly a helicopter? How do you teleport or go back in time? I looked these up online, and of course I got these clickbait tutorials. Yeah, they existed back then. And you could not do any of that stuff on Pocket Edition. It was such a bizarre time. But hey, I was a clueless kid, not knowing. Yeah, this is just the power of editing and such. It's unfortunately you need mods at the very least to get all that kind of stuff. But still, I look back on it fondly, and it's. Sometimes I do miss being a kid because like back then you were clueless and such. You didn't really know what was going on in the world. Like whenever. See, like, I found this out after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, where it's technically been ongoing for over a decade now, but I just never knew as a kid, right? Until it escalated. So, kind of really goes to show how nice it is being clueless as a kid. I think that's why a lot of us miss our childhoods, is because we were clueless. We were happy. We didn't have any worries, and you know what? This is why I wish in school, and why a lot of folks wish at school, that they would teach, okay, this is how you do taxes, this is how you take care of yourself. Yeah, we get like foods and sewing class. Why do we need sewing to that big degree? Like, can we not learn how to do laundry, how to handle machines and such? That kind of stuff. Why do I need to know how to how to sew? Once I learn the technique, I learn the technique. I don't want to keep making things I'm not going to use. It's just going to get thrown out at the end of the semester. Nope. Our school system's broken, and that's why a fair chunk of us can end up feeling a little lost at times. And yeah, some folks may be raised differently, and they may not have to really worry so much about like, what the hell? They may not have to worry so much about how they were raised and such, because maybe they were all taught as a kid and such. And, you know, everybody's different growing up. But now I even think of Minecraft music, the like what's on right now, Danny by C418. Like, put that in, if there's like a console edition texture pack where like you get more fog, you play that, or and then just get a world download for an old world, and then you'd really see and realize how nostalgic all this is. I think this is why people love old Minecraft so much. It's not just because old Minecraft was better or anything like that. Like, I'm one that likes having all these new features. Like, of course, if you don't like the new features, especially if you play Java, just go to an old version. Or better yet, ignore the features. Go to a plains biome. Like, this area, this is a perfect biome. Like, this is kind of more of a plainsy type biome. There's a forest over there. Yeah, there's a cherry grove, but I could just turn the render distance down and ignore it if I were that upset over it. But, yeah, I think that's why a lot of folks get nostalgic for old Minecraft. It's not just the fact that it was old. It's because we were happier back then. Like, Gen Z and Gen Alpha have some of the worst mental health records in human history, which it's scary to realize, to think that a lot of folks have problems. So then, what do we do to run away from the present? We go to the past and hide away in it. Like, I've done that so many times. I can't even count how many times I've done that as a kid. Just things went south, and I'd just be like, no, I don't like this. I just want to be in the past. I want to be a kid again. I want to be clueless. No worries in the world at all, but that can't happen. I've seen these reels where, and I feel that this is a good way to approach it in a way, because see, our imaginations are completely bizarre, and we can think unimaginable things. We're flying people around the moon as we speak. So like, you could almost sort of immerse yourself in an older time, and I've done that the odd time. But notice something, how unless you actually add people to it, there's nobody there. And that's like a common sort of saying, is that you'll go back, but nobody's there. Is it true? You're the only one that's there right now. Nobody else. Which I know is quite scary to think of, but, I mean, how much wheat do you need, sheep? That's insane. Huh. I'm gonna get that wheat back, because I did not know that it would just take it all. Don't mind if I do. Nope. You can't get another one. Alright. Yeah, I think that's why oftentimes folks will want to sort of go back in time and just forget present day, because, you know, our past were just a better time overall. Or even the inverse, we'll look to the future, because maybe our past was bad. We just want to be out of this mess that we're in. Who knows? Who knows? Get out of these cows. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. This is a bit of a shorter video today, but I really wanted to just sort of bring a bit of awareness, like, to some folks. Like, if somebody you know is really into their gaming world and such, just leave them be. But this world's hard enough as is, and especially for our demographic, where we just if we that our forte is gaming, that's our hobby. Well, leave us alone. Stop judging and telling us to get outside so much. Yeah, we'll get outside when we want to get outside. All right. Wonder how many parents would come on and say, "Nah, shut up. You don't tell my kid what to do or whatever." No, you're wrong. Well, you're wrong in thinking that it's all negative. Because, well, you know what? There's some folks out there that they'll go into alcohol or drugs. So are you calling gaming a drug? It's not. It's gaming. Anyways, enough starting battles. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe and take care.